Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you are now listening to the greatest podcast on the planet. And I am one of your hosts, Big Jack, a.k.a. The Great One.
What's going on, everybody? It's Buddy, a.k.a. Camouflage, and you are now listening to the Sports Cypher.
This is Marv, and you are now tuned in and tuned up for the Sports Cypher.
What's good? This is Ricardo, aka the reason why your girl disappears on football Sundays. And you are tuned into the Sports Cypher.
This is Blade, aka the Ace of Spades. They save the best for last on Sports Cypher.
I'm subscribing to this. Give the people what they want.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Sports Cypher. On today's episode, NBA talks, Dave Ortiz assassination attempt, and Carson Wentz mega contract deal. Let's get it started. Ricardo, what you got on the NBA, man?
That's right.
Well,
that's right.
It definitely has been an interesting NBA playoffs with the Warriors, battling off elimination. Ended up winning by 1 point. They were winning by 14 at one point, and Kawhi Leonard just went crazy in the fourth quarter. I think at one point he scored 10, 12 points for the Raptors. But Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, that's why they get paid the big bucks. Well, at least Steph and Klay about to get paid the big bucks. They came through. They scored like the 9 of the last 9 points for the Warriors, I believe. They shot 3 threes with about a minute 15 to go.
Yes, sir.
To seal the game. And even then, Raptors had one chance. Kyle Lowry from the corner.
Corner 3, I think, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he says that, I forgot who was guarding him, but he says that the shot was tipped, was partially blocked.
Okay.
I can't remember who was guarding him at the time.
Me either. I cannot remember either.
Yeah, but
I almost thought it was an open shot at one point. I thought he was open for a split second. That's
what he said in an interview after the game. He said that the trajectory was messed with. But either which way, it was a great game. Unfortunately, Kevin Durant, if you're a Knicks / Lakers / whatever fan, I guess a Warriors fan too.
Brooklyn, Clippers,
Boston, yeah. Everybody just groaned inwardly or outwardly when he got hurt in the beginning of the second quarter, torn Achilles. So he's pretty much going to be out all of next year, and it might even be a career-ending injury. Although people don't want to talk about it. I mean, because Kevin Durant is 30 years old. He's not like he's 21 coming back from an ACL. So
They need to talk about it because it was a dumbass move for him to come back to this game. Now look at it. Now
he's going to ruin his career over this. My thing about that game, the thing that I think the point where where Toronto went wrong, I think where the Raptors went wrong was the coach calling that timeout. I don't that in 3 minutes left in the game. I don't think he should have called that timeout because they had momentum. They were momentum, and your best number one player is on fire. He was on fire.
Mm-hmm.
By calling that timeout, I think that was a big mistake. By calling that timeout,
he cooled his own play off basically.
Yeah, he cooled his player off, and he was on fire. And then on top of that, California just had time. Oakland just had time to just regroup. They just had time to regroup. You don't do that. You don't do that 3 minutes. 3 minutes and 58 seconds or something like that. I can't remember how much. 3 minutes and change into the game, like left in the game. Like you just let it go. I think that was the downfall of the game. I think the coach should have never did that. That's my opinion. I think the coach should have just let them play. He was on fire and let him keep on going. You don't do that.
Yeah, for me, my man, I'm gonna start off by saying this. Kevin Durant, man, it was a high risk, high reward, but he felt his legacy was on the line, bro, because he want to be like Jalen Rose had a good statement today about the stuff getting to Durant, but at the end of the day, I think he wanted to do it for his legacy. I think he wanted to do it for the team, and his impact was felt. 11 points in the first quarter, man. It was a high risk, high reward. Like I'm hearing one little slight thing. Richard Sherman put out there on Twitter. He said he don't think that it's fully ruptured. He think it's just severely strained. But we never got nothing official yet. He's going to New York today as of Tuesday to get everything official. So I guess we're here in the next couple of days. We're recording on Tuesday,
right?
But I know how Jack feel. I know how you guys feel, man. But for me,
so you think it's worth it? You think it's worth it that he went out and played for one game? He might not be. Let me finish the question. So and he might not be able to play ever again. He might.
Nah, I don't think he'll ever play ever again. I mean, don't forget Dominique Wilkins suffered this back in the '80s. Though he bounced back from that later in his career as well. So I don't think he'll never play ever again. I think that's kind of out there for right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but he's not going to be playing the whole next year. He's not going to be playing for the next year.
Yeah.
So
if it's ruptured,
how much?
Yeah, he will be out for a calendar year.
So how much is he worth a year? How much is he worth a year? How much he usually gets paid a year?
Like around $30 million.
So you're saying
34, 35.
That one game that he came out and sacrificed was worth $30 million for next year?
Now let me finish. That's hindsight, like I said. Because if he would have played, they would have won, and he would have moved on to this next game healthy. Everybody would have been praising him. He was in a lose-lose situation. Because if he would have stayed out, people would have been saying, "Oh, he's selfish, man. This dude only for self. He ain't want to come back to help his team if the Warriors would have lost yesterday." And
who's gonna say that? People are fans.
A lot of people are going to say that.
Say that, but
media, a lot of people are going to say that, bro. Because people were saying that already. People were saying in his ear already saying that.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, when it comes down to it, who's paying you the money? Are you going to be are you going to go out there and risk your career for? He's going to lose $30 million.
No. But here's the thing: not necessarily. Remember, he has a player option. He is technically not a free agent.
Yeah, he's not a free agent.
So he can still get his $30 million.
Absolutely, he can. He absolutely can.
He has a player option with the Warriors for next year. So if he wants, he can just pick up his player option, get his $31 million.
I didn't know that. I thought he was over.
No. But
it was a 1-year deal with a option. A player option. It's the LeBron James deal, basically.
Okay. Yeah, but at the end of the day, for me and how I look at it, I respect Durant for that, bro. Because you're talking about hindsight. You're not looking at what he wanted to do for. He made a choice to hold up. Let me finish, bro. So at the end of the day, for me, that was about legacy, bro. Because everybody questioned his legacy, the move on him going to the Warriors, having dinner with the Warriors at OKC. He wanted to put all that behind for his legacy to win 3 chips in a row, dog. You know who did that? Jordan. So he was going to be put up there amongst the highs of the most elite players like Jordan with the 3 in a row. That was a legacy move, man. And I respect him for that, man. And I respect your old difference of opinion, bro. But what you're saying don't change the way I feel about it, because I think that was a legacy move that Kevin Durant pulled out because he was doing that for his legacy. That's why I say it was high risk, high reward. It didn't pan out, and that's when hindsight come in. But coming into it, bro, everybody was excited. And maybe he was hearing stuff and hearing pressure from other people. Everybody got their chunk of meat from him because he would have been in a lose situation if he would have played or not played. It would have been lose-lose. But at least when him playing, he had a chance at a legacy builder.
Okay.
All right. Well, here's my thing.
Hold on.
You didn't already talk, Blade. Let me say one thing. It's in your opinion, it's a legacy thing. In my opinion, it was a dumb move thing. And here's the reason why. Like you said, he's 30 years old. The Achilles is something you don't really want to mess with. And now There's a possibility that he's out for a year. There's a possibility that leg is not going to be as strong anymore. So his career could be, he could bounce back, whatever, but he shouldn't, in my opinion, he should have never took that risk, man. Too many players have came back not 100% just to try to get in there and do something and then injure the leg and injure whatever injury they had and make it worse than it was before. And now look at him. I mean, to me, it wasn't worth it. To me, it wasn't worth it. You already got a couple of championships under your belt. I mean, it was up in the air. He shouldn't have done it, man. That was just dumb. It was a dumbass move for him to risk. And the coaches knew. The coaches and the medical staff, they knew that leg wasn't good enough to be out there trying to run at the level that he usually ran in. They knew that, but they're trying to win a championship. So they're like, go ahead, do what you got to do, man. Go ahead. You can do it. And now look at him. Laid up, crippled. Go ahead,
Blake.
Okay. Pretty much what Big Jack just said I was going to say, but there's just one key point I would have added. It's about numbers. All right? It's about numbers, and it's about, statistics. And everyone knew that he had a chance to go to re-injuring that leg and making it worse. And when it comes to that, you're gonna value your playing time for the rest of your life. That's like $30 million for what each year. So once he comes back, he's not as good. He's not as good. They're not going to say, well, you're not as good. We're still going to give you $30 million because you were good before. No, they're going to give you a crappy contract. And that, when it comes down, it's a business. This is a business.
But it's already reports.
Let me finish. I understand this is a business. Hindsight and all that. That's emotions.
Yes, but business-wise,
that's emotions. This is a business, and when it comes to business, you have to think like a businessman because the teams think our business. It's a business, and the teams do not care. If you're not going to play next year and you're not going to be healthy,
but you got to
they're not going to give you $30 million. And that's all I want to say.
Okay, but 3 teams already came out and said they're willing to pay whatever price to get Durant on their team already. They already came out. Three different teams.
That's like they just because they said that doesn't mean that. Look at Le'Veon Bell. There was a whole bunch of teams that said they wanted Le'Veon Bell then they didn't want Le'Veon Bell because they didn't want to pay the money. Teams can say whatever they want to say. They can say whatever they want to say. When it comes to writing the check, that's when they put up or shut up. That's it. They could say 3 teams. It could be 6 teams that want him. But then if he comes back and he's gimpy, they're gonna be like, nah, they're not gonna want him. They're gonna want him at a discount. They're gonna want a discount.
Definitely at a discount. Now, because of the injury, this is just me, but I'm pulling out my crystal ball and looking into the future. That leg is never going to be the same again. He's never from this point on. Once he steps back on the court, I don't foresee him ever finishing a whole season.
It's possible, and this is kind of one of the reasons why I think that the Knicks ended up trading Kristaps Porzingis. Right? They were like, we're betting on him not being able to be, and he's 22, right? And they were betting that he won't be as explosive and as dynamic as he was pre-Achilles injury. Now, I will say this though, when it comes to his legacy and things like that, I do believe that pressure is strong, and I think athletes do care about that. I think we all recognize that it is a business, but I think when you're a person like Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant has made more money than, a
little bit. More money than a little bit,
some small countries, right? He's made from his sneaker deal with Nike, his basketball and other endorsements. The guy's rich beyond rich. Not to say that you can't always want more. He's already a 2 times final MVP, right? I feel that, but he's thinking, okay, I need to show people I'm not soft here. People who watch the game,
it goes to check out,
and it's dumb when you think about all those people because I saw it on Twitter and on Facebook, people saying this and that. Oh, he's soft. I'm like, Are we not watching the finals with Toronto and Kawhi Leonard? Were people not saying the same exact thing about Kawhi Leonard last year? People are so ridiculous when it comes to trying to crawl into these athletes' bodies and
exactly
playing hurt and this, that, and the third. I'm like, I never question an injury. I'm like, if they say they're hurt, they're hurt. Well, what is it to Kevin Durant's advantage not to play? If he's truly healthy. I mean, now he might have fell into that trap and came back early, but you know what? It's not only on him because that medical staff has to clear him, right? That's like how they had to clear Klay Thompson to play. Klay Thompson wanted to play. He begged to play. They're like, nah, bro, sit out. But they let him play. So,
can I interject for 1 second?
Yeah, go ahead.
But he falsely, at the end of the day, they do be giving the players at their own risk to go out there. And Thompson wanted to go out there. He wasn't going to take no for it. And I think the same thing happened with Durant. But I just wanted to interject with that right quick.
See, I don't think that's true. See, no, I don't think that's always the case. Klay Thompson wanted to go out there, and they said he took no for an answer. They said no, and he sat his ass on the bench. So, I mean, the proof is right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that. So he didn't take no for game 4 though. When they wanted to, he didn't take no for that. You know what I'm saying?
So you guys were saying that because of peer pressure, that these guys, because his legacy, he won what? He had two championships already, and he's saying that because of legacy.
That's what I'm saying. That's how I feel about
it.
So
could be.
That is why a lot of players come back not 100% and trying to get out there and do something when they know good and doggone well they need to sit on their butts and heal completely. Peer pressure comes into factor with a lot of athletes.
Jack, and what about those athletes that come back and do it and known forever as a great? So we go to like a gymnast, Kerry Struggs, who sat there daggone a broke ankle and still landed and got that 10 for America to win the Olympics that year, dog. We go back to Jordan. Well, that's just
Jordan playing with the flu.
With the flu,
103 degrees temperature.
All that Emmitt Smith with a separated shoulder running for $177.
Like I said, Willis Reed come.
You guys like those after school specials, right?
Wait. Hold on, Blaze. Hold on. But this happens all the time. I mean, you're a huge football fan. How many players we see play with concussions?
Well, look at RG3. He was hurt. He should have never went back on.
Absolutely, but
that's why it's risk reward.
But I'm just saying, you're making it sound like Kevin Durant is an exception to the rule. This happens all the time in sports.
Exactly. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
He's just a high profile case, but
this is the message to Kevin Durant. This is what from my mama. My mama used to say, if someone tells you to jump off, if you see Ricardo jumping off the bridge, are you going to jump off the bridge?
No, but to be fair, okay, so he had a calf injury, right? He didn't have an injured Achilles before, so this is a completely separate injury.
Yeah, separate, but it led to that. Yeah,
I understand, but you think he knew going in? Like, you think somebody told
him? That's why I call it hindsight, bro.
Yeah, I'm sure if somebody said, you could rupture your Achilles tonight if you play. I think he would have been like, on second thought, guys. But if they're like, you might strain your calf again, he's like, all right, whatever.
But let me give my thoughts on the game right quick. I want to give my thoughts on the game. Durant came back, made a big impact in the first quarter, but I really think the Warriors survived and got lucky. And sometimes, how they say in sports, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, because DeMarcus Cousins and Draymond Green did everything they can to lose that game at the end of the game for the Warriors, man. Draymond Green did not have a good game by far at all. And Cousins had a lot of turnovers and silly mistakes that was mental. And they survived and they got lucky. Now, can this be the start of something? Can they spark something from this and try to make history? We'll see. Only time will tell. Blade may be right. 6 and 6. You know what I'm saying? We'll see Thursday night. But that game right there, man, I think the Warriors was fortunate to come out with that win, the hold off a hot limit at the end. But so Clay and Curry got hot, and they was fortunate, man. So we'll definitely see how things regroup. And Kevin Looney got hurt as well, but he said he's going to play again hurt again, so he's gonna go out there hurt and play again. Game 6 on Thursday. So I mean,
I still think it's gonna go to 7. I mean, they're going back into Warrior territory, so they're gonna be more amped and more motivated to get that victory. So I still think it'll come down to the last game, but I'm still pushing for Toronto.
Okay, we can see about. I'm sticking with the Warriors. I picked the Warriors, so I'm picking Warriors to try to push it to Game 7 some way, somehow. They're gonna have to dig deep, and this is gonna be tough because Toronto, big two, Siakam and Leonard started off real slow at the beginning of that game. If they get to a hot start, man, and they pretty much keep it.
Because keep in mind,
it can get ugly.
Again, the Warriors had a 14-point lead in that game, man.
And it went away pretty fast.
It definitely did. Soon as some of those open threes they were missing all through the first half started to fall.
They was like 5 or 21 or something like that.
Yep. And the second half the shots started to fall.
Especially in that fourth quarter.
I'm starting to wonder, man, like is it do you have to have what I consider, now this is just my opinion, do you have to have a weird last name in order to be a great ball player? I mean,
you talking about Siakam?
Siakam, man, it sounds like some kind of rash. They need to put some ointment on it. Siakam, you got Siakam. You got a bad case of Siakam.
He's African. He's African.
I don't care what he is. That name is Siakam. You got a bad case. Rub some ointment on that.
Pascal Siakam.
But he's still a great player. He's still a good player.
I'm gonna stick to this right here, and I know Maul out here. But when Maul hitters, I'm sticking to this, man. I really think Cousins gotta come up some type of way. He's getting killed on D like Ibaka, man. He is taking advantage of him on a pick and roll.
I think Boogie's still hurt too.
Yeah, he might be playing hurt too, man.
And remember, he's coming off the same injury this year as we assume Kevin Durant has to.
Yeah, but also he hurt his quad as well. Also, he hurt his quad too.
Yeah. Yep.
But my whole thing. Oh, hold on. Let me say right quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh,
I need to go over to the facts and statistics, man. Camouflage. Is this the most injuries of one team in the championship game? It's like, what's going on? Like,
this is pretty crazy, bro.
Injuries, like, but it just goes. It's crazy, man. But it shows the quality of the whole team. Like, the bench is really coming up and performing. In a lot of cases, when you got a lot of key players that are injured, it just wipes out your whole squad. Like, especially like in football, one player goes down, the whole team just starts sucking after that. But man, these cats I've never heard of a team having this many injuries and still, rocking out like a great team.
They're good. Yeah. That's why they're the Warriors.
Yeah, I just wanted to say this, man. Cousins, he came there for a reason, bro. Like Durant went there for a reason. Durant wanted his legacy to have rings, bro. He wanted his legacies are forever, bro. He got more than enough money. What he don't got is a legacy that will put him in the top 2, 3, 4 for the rest of his life, though. And that's what he's playing for. Like Cousins want a ring. He knows it's a chance to win this ring, bro. He got to go out there. He got to find a way to play better. I don't hold no excuses, bro. If you're on that court, you got to find a way. You got to find a way unless you're fully injured and you can't play. So you got to find a way on that court, man.
You got to find a way, but you got to be smart with it.
Hurt. Yeah, but Kawhi Leonard playing hurt the whole time. We not knocking him or banging him. He playing hurt the whole time.
What the hell is his injury?
Knee injury. They overcompensated for his quad. He playing hurt the whole time.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, Cousins got to step up, but he got to play smarter because that last game, man, woof.
Well, I want to ask you guys a question.
He can't be doing too much more of that.
With Durant, man, what you think his future is, y'all? What a quick prediction. You think he's going to stay with the Warriors? There's he got guaranteed money to get him. You think he's going to try to get signed anyway?
I think he's going to stay with the Warriors. I think he's going to take his player option, rehab with Golden State, and then leave.
Yeah,
that's what I say.
Ain't nobody taking him right now with the way. I mean, I know there's people out there who said they would. There's teams that said they would, but I don't think so, man. And if they do take him, he damn sure ain't gonna get the money that he's getting right now. So he might as well just take that option, stay there, and get rehabilitated and get that guaranteed money, man, and then come back out. Maybe play one more season with them, and then shop around for a new team.
I will say this: I think there's. Oh, I'm sorry. I think there's plenty of people. I think there's still plenty of teams out there that would sign Kevin Durant to a 2-year deal right now. But like, people will, because that's a chance teams are willing to take. If you're a team where you're like, you got a couple of young people on your team and you got 2-3 years, you're like, I'll take a flyer on him. I know he's going to be out all this year, but next year, I'm gonna see what he's going to do in year 2 and 3. I don't think he could get anything longer than a 3-year deal anymore, But I'm telling you, people.
Well, remember what I said. Remember what I said. I don't foresee him after coming back. I don't foresee him finishing out a whole season.
Well,
we'll revisit it. But
me, I'm a cup half full, half empty, because there's always a flip side. There's always a yin to a yang. So as well as y'all think he can bounce back, he can bounce back too as well. Like I said, even back in the 80s,
but he's
the human highlight reel.
Though. He's the only. You can't. He's the only one.
Didn't Kobe have an Achilles?
And he sucked afterwards. I mean,
he also was old as dirt though too.
Well, that's true. He was about 34. Yeah. Chauncey Billups.
Yeah, 4. Yeah, but that's only 4 years from KD, right?
Yeah, but that's a long time though. That's a long time.
That's a long time for athletes. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say my wish list. I wish the Knicks sign him to a 5-year deal with a player option of 4 years, and let's go.
Yeah, that's not my wish list as a Knicks fan. I'm like, let him rehab and we'll
Benedict Arnold.
I'm not a Benedict Arnold. I'm just rational.
You're supposed to agree with me. I'm a Knicks fan.
Why? Because he's a realist. He's a realist.
I'm like, go sit on the bench for a year and take Golden State money for a year, bro, and then we'll holla at you. If you still want to be a Knick, we'll be here still. Franchise been here 80 years. We'll be here.
Let's lock him in. Let's lock him in, baby.
Hey, Cam. Yeah. When you go buy a car, man, you want 4 wheels on it, not 3.
Listen.
You gotta get
listen. Listen, if I can buy that,
Cam's Evil Knievel.
If I can buy that Bugatti with 3 wheels and just wait 1 year to drive it for the other wheel, I'll do it.
Oh God.
I woke up in a new Bugatti.
On that note, I think we should move on.
Woke up in a new Bugatti. It's on you, Jack, baby. I woke up in a new Bugatti, baby.
Hey, check the oxygen level in your house, man, because, okay.
Oxygen good.
All right. Moving on to Mr. Baseball, David Ortiz, and the assassination attempt on his life.
But time out. Hey, time out. Weren't we supposed to talk about the coach? I'm not the coach. The guy the player,
the owner, pushing the owner.
Yeah,
we don't have to do it in. I mean, we could still come around back to that, but
all right. So start over, Jack. Sorry, my bad.
No, just keep going. I could edit it out. Just keep going.
Definitely edit that speeding ass racer going by.
That was one of them 3-wheel cars. That's one of them 3-wheel cars.
That's his Bugatti. That's his car on 3 wheels. There you go.
That's his 3-wheel Bugatti. New Bugatti.
I'm calling him Evil Knievel from now on.
Man. So Ortiz, man. Ortiz done went over there and done some things that he probably shouldn't have done, and by the grace of God, he's still alive. But I mean, let's just chalk this up as a lesson learned. Ricardo, what you got?
Yeah, so just in case people haven't heard, so Sunday night, David Ortiz, former baseball player,
Big Papi,
MVP for the
Big Papi,
Boston Red Sox, was in his home Dominican Republic in Santo Domingo at, I guess, some kind of nightclub. And when a man on a motorcycle hopped off the motorcycle, ran up on him and shot him in the back, he sustained injuries to a few organs, his liver, his spleen. He was airlifted. He was air ambulance to Boston today, actually, for a second surgery. On the Boston Red Sox dime, by the way. So, and they paid for that.
And this new type of surgery too. It wasn't just a regular surgery. It was like just cutting the edge, never before done surgery.
So here's my thing: what did they shoot him with? Because that sounds like, I mean, I know if you get shot with like a 22, then the bullet will go up and you swim around. But I mean, dang, a high powered gun at that close a range, damn, this should have
go right through you, right?
Well, yeah, it messed up like 3 of his organs. It hit his pancreas,
which meant that bullet swam around.
Yeah, that's the Caribbean. That's the Caribbean. They don't really have very.
It's probably like a 32 or 22. Yeah, 28.
It had to be, man.
And it could also have been like bone fragments too that hit his organs, like his ribs or something. And another person was shot too, but nobody ever talked about the other dude who got shot. I noticed,
nobody even mentioned that. At all, man.
But there was 2 guys. There was 2 guys that did it, right? And one guy got away, and one guy got beat up.
There was and the one guy. I guess there was 2. The guy was just on the back of the motorcycle, jumped off, walked up on him, just shot him in the back. Now, here is something that I guess is coming out from the police down there. I don't know how true this is, obviously, especially since I don't live there and whatever have you, but the police down there are saying allegedly it was done as a warning to Big Papi, who was messing around with some drug lord's woman.
You know what? Now, I'm gonna win money because I bet my friend that this morning about that. I said it.
Hey, friend on the podcast, you owe Blade some money.
Now, if this is the case, and it comes out to be factual that this is the case, we right here, right now, we gonna change his name from Big Papi to Big Floppy, because you just don't mess with a drug lord's girl, man.
No,
the thing in the Caribbean,
man, but it was so sweet though, bro. It was the sweetest thing he known.
Yeah, but listen, in the Caribbean,
man, all money ain't good money.
In the Caribbean, there's 2 things: don't mess with a drug dealer's money, or don't mess with a drug dealer's woman. So he went out there and he messed with some drug dealer's woman. And that was
so they saying. So they, I mean, I guess
it's what they saying, but that's not just a Caribbean thing. That's pretty much worldwide.
Pretty much.
I mean, it kind of leans toward like it could be true because he didn't take no money. He wasn't trying to rob him.
Do
none of that.
He wasn't. And I'm like,
he's trying to send a message like,
and I'm like,
trying to put a pancreas on.
Right, and if he was really trying to kill the guy, he just would have shot him in the back of the head, right?
Shot him in the back of the head. Yep, that was the warning.
Perfect opportunity. So
that's a hell of a warning. But message received.
Big Papi should know. He's got to realize he's coming back home, and he's worth what? $400-500 million.
Probably.
He needs some bodyguards and stuff. You can't be going back to the Caribbean and hanging out thinking that you're just a regular guy. You just can't do that.
But Blade, didn't the people in the club stomp the dude face in and stuff that?
Yeah, absolutely. But it only take one hater,
man. That's
true,
but
you're right. That one bullet could have took his life.
Only take one hater. Yeah. One.
The club might have got him, but had he had security,
I couldn't even have got close. Couldn't even have got close.
Hey, look, $400 million. You need your own personal little security. $400,000. Your life needs to change a little bit. So,
Big Jack, I ain't even going to no club. I'm inviting people I want to my house. Like,
thank you.
Be controlled environment.
You gotta go where the people at, man.
Nah, the people coming to me when I got $400 million. People coming to me.
$400 million. $400 million. The party coming to me.
Right.
I'm pulling the P Diddy all white party. P Diddy all white party. $400 million.
Man, you gotta give the people what they want, man.
I will when they get the invite with the gold lettering on it in the mail to my house.
And raise gold lettering so a lot of people can read it.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, Big Papi, man.
If I went home to the Caribbean, if I went home to Barbados with $1 million, I would have 2 bodyguards. Because if they knew I had $1 million, they're coming for that money.
And real talk, Blade, if I went back home and I had a couple million, first of all, I'm dressing like a bum. Nobody's gonna let her have money. You think I'm joking? Man, I'm gonna go up there with some ripped up shorts.
Well, Ricardo, you know when you go there dressing nice, all your cousins are gonna be asking you.
Yeah.
To ask you to give you the shirt.
Hey, you ain't gonna be like Floyd Mayweather walking around with 2 duffel bags of $500,000.
Nope.
Well, he can't even read, so he's not the brightest.
Listen, I went to Barbados one year with my Deion Sanders shoes. I had Deion Sanders sneakers, and I left Barbados without those Deion Sanders. I left with slippers.
Yeah, some people are just real dumb with their
money. I'm glad Big Papi gonna make a healthy
recovery,
am too, man. And Big Papi, bro. I know
hated him when he was a player,
but
it
was good.
Don't want that happening. And you know what I find interesting? The doctors say that when they wheeled him in, he was reportedly said, "Please don't let me die. I'm a good man."
Yeah, he said that.
Who says that when they're shot? Like, not the "please don't let me die" part. I can totally get that, but the "I'm a good man" thing. Like a few friends were talking. It was like, she said, "That sounds like a man who did something and he know he guilty. Don't kill me because I'm a good man." Like, if you're a good man, who says I'm a good man? I'm like,
all I want to know is if the doctor said to him, "Who shot you?"
Here's the thing, man. Here's the one thing. And you know how cartel leaders are and stuff like that, man. If they shot him for messing with the cartel leader's girl, what happened to the girl?
I don't even want to know.
Everybody done seen the movies, man. You know if
shark food.
Hey,
she sleeping with the fishes,
man.
It all depends. It could be his wife. If it was his wife,
maybe not.
Or maybe somebody he loved. He'd be like, nobody will ever mess with you again. You mine.
And you know what it is too. When you're talking about people with this kind of power, they take insults differently than you or me. Like, David Ortiz might have just said hi and shook his wife's hand at a party. You know what I mean? Like, we don't really know what to the extent.
And the wife could have came home and said, "Yes, honey, guess who I met? And he shook my hand. He's so gorgeous."
He shook your hand?
You think he's better than me?
Y'all had sex.
You think he's better than me?
Sex. Y'all fingers interweaved.
No, the thing about it, or maybe
what in the world?
I remember one time with these Jamaican guys I had some issue with, and while we were buying up the bar, and the bartender was just coming to us. She was just staying with us, and they got offended. Like, they offended that their money wasn't good enough. So, people. You
never know.
Yeah,
I had that happen to me one time, and me and my crew, we was in a strip club, and we just making it rain, and all the strippers was over there with us, man. These guys come up like, "Yo, man, share the wealth." And I was like, "Man, leave us alone, man. We astronauts. We got to go out of space in a little while." What? Oh, you know what? My bad. That was the scene from Armageddon. Anyway, let's go on. Go ahead.
All right, Jack. It's on you with Mark Stevens, man. The Warriors minority owner.
Mark, bruh, look, I don't care if you minority owner, part owner, the gardener. You don't put your hands on somebody, man. You don't put your hands on another man. Now, I think at some point somebody was trying to say that he pushed him or put his hands on him to try to get him to strike him back in order for him to get kicked out of the game or whatever. I probably would have had to take that loss, man, because you put your hands on me, man. I'm gonna lay you down. I'm gonna lay you down. So
explain to the people who might have missed it in game 4.
Was that 3? Oh, that was 4?
3.
Yeah, I think it was game 3, rather than.
Oh, game 3.
One of them. The damn part.
Yeah, it was game 3. Yeah, it was the Wednesday game because the Friday. Yeah, I think it was game 3 because Friday was game 4.
Now, when it first came out, I thought he was a minority owner. He's a He's
a minority owner. Yeah, he have a small percentage ownership of the team.
You just bought some stock. You bought.
And then not only
stock.
Yeah, not only did he just come off the benches and push them, he was cursing them out as well. He was calling them what he was like F or. If it ain't S or something like that, he was saying. His name is Mark Stevens. His name Mark Stevens, man. And so I know Blade gonna touch on this a little more. He's suspended for 1 calendar year, and he's only fined $500,000.
Yeah. So
Blade, you can take it away from there, man. I know you got some hot takes on that.
Well,
wait, hold on. So, and this is against Kyle Lowry. I don't think we mentioned who he.
Oh yeah,
the actual situation, right? Like Kyle Lowry dove for a ball in the stands, and this man shoved him when he was in the stands trying to extricate himself. So this is what we're referring to. Kyle Lowry being basically assaulted by the minority owner, one of the minority owners of the Golden State.
And then he came back and started cursing him out to his face.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He came back and started doing that as well.
Now, like Camouflage said, he got 1 year suspension, and he got $500,000 to pay as a fine. But the thing about it is, there's two things that I see that's wrong about this. If that was any other fan, they would be suspended for life. They wouldn't be suspended for 1 year. They would be suspended for life if you touched a player. Come on, man, you touched a player. Why? Because he's an owner that he could do what he wants. That's the first thing. And the second thing is if a player would have went up there and attacked him, like, come on,
he'd be in jail. let alone, right? The guy would have like put him in jail.
Yeah, so like or he would have lost what did Mano Alpiece, what is his name?
Mano World Peace.
World Peace. He lost 60 games, or what you said
80 games. Yep.
In half a year he was suspended. Yep.
Yeah. So like, I think that's totally wrong. I think this guy they should make him. I think Big Jack said it before. Make him sell his
portion percentage. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Portion minority stock owner. What?
I think he owns like 7% of the team. I think that's the number I saw.
Oh my lord!
7? I thought it was 10.
Oh my lord!
Is it 10? I thought.
I don't know. Maybe 7. That's even worse than 10.
Hey, but to be fair, 7% of the Golden State Warriors is tens of millions of dollars. I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
Yeah, like when Jay-Z was a minority owner for the Nets.
Hell, he only owned 3%.
He owned like 3%. Yeah, he only owned 3%. He was making a lot of money with what's his name? Prokhorov?
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I want to say though, man, big ups to Kyle Lowry, man. I heard him speak after the press conference, man, and he was like, he said if this was a different time, if he didn't have his 2 kids, he's like his kids could pull it up. He said he wanted to show his kids he could hold restraint when somebody's sitting up there, curse you out in your face, getting in your face, shoving you. And he said he wanted to set an example for his kids that you can't hold restraint. You can't use your better judgment in a heated moment where a lot of people lose their cool. And all it would have took for him to do something to this dude that pushed him, this privileged owner, and he would have been out for the rest of the series, and that would have impacted the Raptors in the worst type of way. And he would have felt good, like, I got Kyle Lowry kicked out the rest of the series.
Well, you said you used the good word, privilege. He thinks he's privileged.
He's rich. Very good word. He's rich.
So and that's the case we have of all these fans at these basketball games who've been interacting with these basketball players. I mean, you're sitting courtside 9 out of 10 times, unless you won some kind of contest, right? You're rich. Those seats are not cheap.
You rich and or well off than many,
right? And you're not waiting on the bread line, as they say. So these people are definitely privileged, and I feel that they feel that I paid this good money so I can do whatever I want, and that should be. And you know what's going to happen? Everybody's going to lose because eventually the NBA is going to say people can't be trusted to sit courtside anymore, and they're going to treat it like all the other sports. Go sit behind a barrier now.
Oh, it's going to be like hockey? It's going to be behind a glass?
Maybe.
Could be.
Wouldn't some
definitely a little bit more should have been issued out to him for that, man. $500,000 in a year.
See, I thought the fine was fine. I just think that either two things got to happen. Either he's banned from attending the games forever, or he has to sell his minority, his stock, his ownership of the team.
Yeah,
that's just nah, man, nah,
Yeah, because number one, you shouldn't put your hands on him, regardless. But then after that, you are a owner. You
of
just
the
sit there and
opposing team.
embarrass. Yeah, you just sit there and embarrass your team and the franchise that you are owner of. That is just like
how do you think your
embarrassment, man.
players
Like,
are going to look
really?
at you? You think
Yeah,
Steph Curry? You think you Steph Curry friend after that? Well, you think
man.
Draymond Green want anything to do with you?
Well,
Like,
Draymond Green won't get rid of the word ownership.
Oh yeah,
So.
Draymond wants to get rid of the word owner. He hates the word owner.
well, he's a moron. I mean, at least that statement is moronic. I'm sorry.
Venom.
That's I want to get rid of the word
My brother
owner.
call that man Venom, man.
I call him a da-dunt. What kind of statement
Not
is that, man?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
God.
Ricardo, he's saying that he doesn't want to be owned. He doesn't want to be owned.
He's not owned. He's an employee. That's not the same thing as being. He can quit. Nobody got to get
He's getting paid for his services.
You getting paid for your services, bro. You are an employee.
Paid for your services very wealthily, might you add.
Nobody owns you.
Right?
You can quit whenever you want.
Another case of someone making it through school off their skills.
Well, listen, you gotta
damn sure wasn't academics. Get out of here.
He said it right after the minority owner pushed the player. So maybe he felt that that guy thinks that he could do what he wants. He's the owner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, but it's still a weird thing to say. I don't know.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be.
I agree with you. I'm just taking his point. Where I think he's coming from, but I agree with you.
Yeah, Jack.
Yeah.
Well, hey, moving on to is it baseball?
Carson Wentz.
No,
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz.
No.
I missed.
Okay, now you're just joking. Okay. I see what you did there. I see what you did.
Carson wins in his deal, but Carson wins.
Yes, he did. Carson wins.
Carson wins.
I mean, you just paid. I ain't even gonna go there. Anyway, Philadelphia Eagles gave this man the general manager gave this man a ridiculous contract, which he doesn't deserve. It's ridiculous,
and the owner had to sign off on it. So the
man, he ain't gonna make it through half the season, and y'all just paid this man all this doggone money. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm kind of
what you got on it, man. Ridiculous.
Oh, Ricardo was saying something first. So Ricardo,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ricardo.
Oh, my bad. No, I was just gonna say I kind of hope that he plays through the whole contract and he's just really bad. Like that's me as a Giants fan, though. You know what I mean? Like, I want him to be healthy and just not be good.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, man. That's not acting like in 2017. 2017, he was on a MVP type of tear before he had hurt his knee and his ACL in the Rams game when he ran for the touchdown and tore his ACL. He was on an MVP tear. Like, his touchdowns was at a ridiculous rate. He was going bonkers at a ridiculous rate. So I'm more than sure they've seen that in him at that young of an age that they want to sign him. But he has the most guaranteed money in the NFL right now, more than he edged out Russell by some hundreds of thousands. He's edging out Russell Wilson. But that's all I can say right there. Now, the Cowboys fan in me, man, I hope that boy is trash. I hope that boy is doo-doo on a stick.
Well,
I never wish for people to get injured, but I just hope he just plays horribly. That's all.
I'm not wishing that the man gets injured. I'm just saying he gonna get injured. I mean, isn't that?
Gotcha. Yeah, I know what you're saying. You're saying he just never stay healthy outside of his
you just paid this man all that doggone money.
But I haven't seen a long. I mean, it does getting hurt in football 2 years in a row count as you are injury prone? Because I mean,
it's different injuries.
He was never hurt in college.
Yeah, he was never hurt in college. ACL
so, I mean,
is not
it could have been fluke. I think it might have been a fluky thing,
Yeah, ACL in 17, which is
let's
a fluke injury.
Let's see through mid-season if it's a fluke.
And then last year he had a back injury, so it wasn't the knee, so it wasn't the ACL surgery. So we'll see. It wasn't the same recurring things. It wasn't like a soft tissue type of thing, like with his knee.
Right.
Back.
The thing I feel is that we got to stop giving people money for nothing. Like this is getting ridiculous. Like The NFL is writing checks here, like giving these guys money. Like, come on, man. He didn't. Like, I understand Cam. He had good stats the first year that he played. He was on fire. He was on fire, but he didn't finish the game. He didn't finish it. He didn't take them to the playoffs. He didn't win the playoffs. Now, he has 2 years left on his contract. He had 2 years left on his rookie contract. What's the rush? Why they should have paid $50,000, $15 million, $25 million a year to old boy, what's his name, that went to Jacksonville?
Nick Foles.
Nick Foles.
Yeah. And they should have paid him for 2 years, kept him on there, and see how this guy plays. See if he plays. They have 2 years left.
I don't think you could have a $15 million backup,
you can't have that much in the backup. And plus, they use draft capital on him by using that. What it was? He was he was the second pick in the first round. That's a pretty high draft capital. Yeah, but I do agree with what you said. He still had 2 years left on his contract before they upgraded him. But they felt like they believe in him, bro, and they
could have waited a year though. They could have waited.
I hope they saved at least a little bit of money to help get a line to help protect his ass.
Okay, okay, hold on, Cam. They could have you don't like they could have franchised Nick Foles. They could have franchised him, give him 20 million or 25. I can't remember what.
Yeah, it would have been like 20. It would have been over 20 million. It would have been like 23 something like that.
Yeah, between 20 and 25 million. Franchise him for 1 year and see how this guy does for 1 year, and then give him the contract next year.
But they did right by Nick Foles. They let him go, man, to have a chance to be a starter, which is what he wanted. Because don't forget, he opted out that $20 million that he had with them. He opted out of that himself.
But the thing about it is, the team likes Nick Foles. The team, he's a leader. He's a leader. They don't like Carson Wentz.
You see, I don't see. Why do you say that? I mean, they liked him well enough before that. No,
I'm talking about the players. Because when Stephen A. Smith came out and said that he talked to the players off the record.
Yeah, a couple of players had a little schism with him and stuff like that.
Yeah, they say he's not a team guy. He's not a team guy. They say Nick is a team guy.
So he's another Roethlisberger.
But here's the thing. I'm like, I know we need to I don't mean to beat the dead horse, but I'm like, Nick Foles was not a big deal before. I mean, Nick Foles is not like 22 years old. Nick Foles been around a minute.
Nick Foles like 31.
Early 30. Yeah, he might be about.
And Carson Wentz is like, what, 24,
25. Yeah. So I'm like, they might like Nick Foles, but look, I can totally see where Philadelphia was going to. So it was like Nick Foles had a great playoffs. He had the best 3 games of his life, right?
Yep.
And that's it.
So he also took him to the play. He also took him to the playoffs in the second year. You got to remember, they weren't going to make the playoffs until Nick Foles stepped in, and then they started winning every game. Remember when they came to LA?
I mean, they beat the Rams and
beat the Rams in LA.
I do remember that, but that doesn't mean that Nick Foles is going to have a better career than Carson Wentz.
I didn't say that.
Yeah,
no, but you don't see.
No, but that's what the Eagles are saying. They're like, yeah, but we need to look at what are we going to do for the next 10 years. You know what I mean?
Ricardo, I agree with you. That Nick Foles is not. But he's like a Band-Aid. But you keep the Band-Aid on until the wound is completely healed.
That's an expensive Band-Aid, man. That's what I was going to say.
Okay, I'd rather have an expensive Band-Aid than an expensive wound.
Well, you know what?
That's the hell they just got on.
Well, you know what, Big J? You know what, Big J? I wish they would have paid $20 million because they wouldn't have been able to address other positions.
Me too.
They would have. Me as a Cowboys fan, I wish they would have did that. But actually, me as a logical businessman, they had to address other things, man. Like Blade said, it's about a business, Blade, and then you got to build up a team to win, bro. So you can't just hamstring.
Okay.
You can't hamstring.
I understand.
You can't. Wait. Let me, bro. Hamstring 2 positions with mega money like that. Well, 1 position with 2 people with mega money like that at the expense of your whole team. That's the real business side of football.
Okay. All right. So this is logical here. This is logic. I'm going to give you logic. Why would you give Carson Wentz $107 million guaranteed when he has 2 years left of his rookie contract? That's bad business. That's bad business. Why would you do that? That's why would you, at least, especially a guy coming off from 2 injuries when you went to the playoffs twice with the backup, twice, not once, twice to the playoffs with the backup. That's not very logical.
In other words, he did not need that much money.
Not even that. They could have just waited to pay him.
Yeah, that's what they pay him. They didn't need to pay him. Like,
because he had 2 years left.
I couldn't understand if it was his last year. Okay, hold on. I couldn't understand if it was his last year and they had a choice. Oh man, should we roll the dice and get a rookie or I could understand that. I could understand that. Gun to his head. They had no gun to their head. They had no gun.
But I guess they saw him at his best when he's healthy. It's MVP level.
Next up, in the world of soccer, a lot of people are complaining that a mercy play should have been named in here.
Nope.
Blaze, tell us the story about the what was it, Taiwan? Was it the Taiwan soccer team? The Thailand soccer team, man.
Well, it was Team USA women against Thailand, and they slaughtered them. It was 13-0, and the controversy is a lot of people are saying that Team USA should have held up and and stopped scoring, and they like, people were crying. The fans, the Thailand fans were crying. It was devastating. It was devastating. So what do you guys think?
Bugatti won back on.
There go my Bugatti. I was just about to say, there go my Bugatti.
So here's what I think, Blade. Let me tell you, people who thought that the U.S. women's team should have stopped scoring, you know what I say to them? The Thai team should have just walked off the field and quit. Why is it up to me to stop playing? You stop playing since you're losing so bad. You walk off the field.
Thank you.
The thing about soccer is that you have ties, and if 2 teams are tied, like if 2 teams won 3 games or 2 games each, and they're tied, then it comes out to points. Who scored the most points? So right now, the United States is so way ahead of everyone else.
Not for nothing. They probably scored more points than they'll be scored in the whole damn World Cup, yo.
Probably.
It was a baseball score.
That was a football score. Forget baseball.
I actually seen baseball scores get up to 20, like 20 to like
Washington. That's a touchdown and 2 field goals, bro.
Yeah,
that's what that was.
Man, that's the Patriots and that's the Patriots in the Rams Super Bowl minus the field goal.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Hey, bottom line, if you can't stop my team from scoring, then throw the towel in.
Now, if these were a group of 7-year-olds playing, I can see it. These are
professionals.
No, I don't. I think that's what's wrong with this. That's what's wrong with us now. Everyone has to get a trophy.
Hey, I want my participation trophy, and I want my losers ice cream and pizza.
I mean, when we're talking with children, I don't see any problem with.
We talking about adult children.
You know what I tell my daughters? This is my motto. Every day when they wake up before they go to school, I say, if you can't be good at it. And that's my motto.
I'm not. I hear you, but I'm just saying, if I'm dealing with 5, 6, 7-year-olds, I'm like, first of all, I want them to have fun. When you're losing 25-0, I don't know if you're necessarily having fun at that moment, but I hear you. I mean, if we're talking about teenagers, I'm like, nah, let's play. But little kids,
but now they want everyone to get a trophy. Everyone, we're all
okay, but we're talking about 2 different things. Like, we're not talking about giving them an award for losing. I'm just saying, if you're losing 10-0, why continue on with the game? Like, why?
There's no way you can come back.
Point where you discourage children instead of encouraging children. I'm not saying give them an award. I'm just saying, okay, you're down 15-0 in soccer.
Yeah.
Don't you know that children are our future?
That right there, listen, that right there only goes up to so far. Once kids get to a certain age and starts playing, with school sports and stuff, then they understand, like, okay, not everybody's going to win.
Right.
And it goes out. As small kids, you don't want to discourage them because they're not going to want to play after that.
At my girls' school, like their middle school,
you sound a little muffled, Blades. Can you, your mic?
Sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
Really, the thing about it is at my girls' middle school, they after a certain amount of points, then they stopped scoring. They stopped scoring. They told them to stop scoring.
Now, children are our future. Teach them well,
and eat them,
let
and
them
feed
lead
them
the
pork
way.
chops and grits.
And feed them pork chops and oatmeal today.
Oh yeah, oatmeal, not grits. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
the
mercy thing is, the mercy call. No, you especially at that level of play, man.
Absolutely.
No,
I'm like, you're a
if you losing that bad, you're a professional. If you losing that bad, then you just losing that bad. Suck it up and try to do better next game.
Yep.
Yeah. Well.
All right, Jack. You gonna end it, Jack?
Yeah.
For sure. Hey, I'd like to thank you guys for hanging out with us today on the Sports Cypher, on the sports. Lord Jesus. Anyway,
welcome to my world, yo.
You know what? Hey, thanks for hanging out with us today. Remember, you can always catch us on all your major podcast platforms. We're on YouTube, and remember, we're here. Oh, Facebook and Twitter. We're here to give the people what they want. But most importantly, this football season, it's all about the Baltimore Ravens. Quote the Raven, never more. Go Baltimore.
Wow.
Don't you edit that out.